get started right at 7 p.m., folks. Or really close to 7 p.m. I guess I could just go ahead and fire up the show now. I got some stuff to move around real quick. I'll do that off screen, off camera. Just keep the cussing to a minimum. Special nighttime edition from Old Humble Live on a Monday night. I don't normally go live on Monday nights, but I going live tonight on a Monday night because I had work to do earlier today. It was not video work. I mean, I could have done it on the screen, but nothing that I did today was visually interesting. I made phone calls, just like what I'm doing right now is not visually interesting. It's loud as fuck though. Sorry about that. Cussing to a minimum, right? Hose. I got hose. I got hose. Is that a song by CeeLo? Isn't it CeeLo? I got bills. That's what it is. I got bills. I need to pay. Great song. Makes me laugh. Alright, we ready to go to work? I'm gonna move these about. What I'm doing is move the bottles into their space. Because we got 5 more cases to empty out. Yeah, William Holiday. Alright, let's go. Have a quick, this is me, the Old Humble guy. We're on the production side of the facility. That wall you see right there is the dividing line between the production side and the entertainment side. That's our tasting room over there. In about, I don't know, in about a week, we're going to have that all filled in. Definitely by November 11th. But first, a word from our sponsors.
Is your bar looking a little ordinary? Is it lacking something awesome? Well, head out to your local liquor store and pick up something extraordinary. Grab a bottle of Old Humble Straight Whiskey or Old Humble Special Reserve. They're clean, smooth, easy drinking whiskeys that taste the way whiskey should taste. From humble beginnings to an extraordinary finish, Old Humble whiskeys are what your bar needs today. Walk tall, be awesome, and drink humble. Old Humble Straight Whiskey and Old Humble Special Reserve. Get yours today.
Get yours today, indeed. Get it today, indeed. All right, folks, this is me. I am your friendly neighborhood sin merchant, the Old Humble guy. Make sure we got video. Yeah, we got video. Good. The camera didn't freeze up when I overloaded the audio. It is about 50 degrees outside. The weather is absolutely gorgeous right now. I mean, it's actually, I dare say, it's even cold. But I don't like using the C word because it's like, you know, Groundhog's Day type of thing. We have, okay, let me introduce myself real quick. I'm the Old Humble guy. This is the Old Humble Distilling Company. You are watching a night in the life of the Old Humble Distilling Company. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 levels of bottles remaining to be able to work with. And of those 8 levels, every 2 of them is about a barrel. So part of this is going to be the straight whiskey. Then it's going to be the Special Reserve, rye, and Special Reserve again. And then I need to go get some more barrels. Because my rye is probably going to take half of that pallet. Because I got a lot of orders for the rye already. I'm 99% certain I'm going to have to get another pallet of bottles. At least one more pallet of bottles. Very soon. Which means I need to sell whiskey. I need to receive money for the whiskey that I sell. So I can turn around and turn that money into bottles. And more importantly, I need to make sure that I do not drop those bottles and break them again. Because I cannot afford to break bottles. Because I am not made of money. Is this underneath the pallet? No, it is not. All right, good deal. So this is how it all started. I've got like 5 more cases of this straight whiskey to finish up. I'm going to finish up those 5 cases. And then we label and bottle, or seal and label those bottles. And you can also tell that this is just a little bit taller than I am. But I believe it comes in a 10 bottle stack. And I've just got this in an 8 bottle stack because I had to literally, in order to unload the truck, I had to literally unload the bottles by hand because the truck liftgate that I ordered was not a good enough liftgate for the task that I needed it to fulfill. And that was on me. Because I ordered from the wrong company. Because I'm a doofus. All right. So what we're doing tonight, I don't have my phone on me, so I'm not looking at chat. I should probably look at chat. I saw that my boy William Hall is in the house. It is members only chat for the first hour of my nights at, or day in the life of, Old Humble. So William was able to come in and say hi and cheers. I should change that. We're going to flip it off of all the soldiers in a row. Yes, sir. That's what we have. I'm going to turn it off, members only chat, because I want a little bit more engagement in the first part of the show than what I would have if it was members only chat. I do want to encourage members to join the show, join the channel, and what you would get as a member of the channel. Let me turn it on to picture in picture here. What you get as a member of the channel, are we live? Yeah, there we go. What you get as a member of the channel is you get access to members only chat. You get access to members only shows. When we start doing members only shows, you will have access on the second tier of membership. You will have access to our sip-alongs. When I send out samples of whiskeys, you will receive one of those samples of whiskeys and be invited to our forum where you can join me in drinking something that we have never released to the public and may never release to the public. Maybe one of the only people who get a sample of that particular whiskey ever in the history of the universe, which is entirely possible. In fact, in the box that William Hall is going to be receiving in the next several days, there is a bottle of whiskey that may never be released to the public. What kind of whiskey is that? Well, you'll never know because you, dear member or dear viewer, are not a member of the channel. Members of the channel may also get a sample of this whiskey in the next several weeks, months. The next several months, but only members in the Wildcat tier, the second tier. Yeah, I'll send out samples for just anything. But as I said before, I'm the owner and proprietor of this here establishment. The Old Humble guy is me, and this is the Old Humble Distilling Company. So as you can imagine, from my moniker, the Old Humble Distilling Company is very much a project of my own heart, and For the last several years, I've been operating this thing and trying to grow it into an ongoing concern, or as the auditors would say, in the accounting world, they would say a going concern, one that can sustain itself from year to year to year. And we're close. We're super duper close. And one of the things that you can do by watching the show is follow along and see our growth. One of the things that did not exist in this here place, this here establishment, just a month ago was the construction over here on my right. Most of this construction I did on camera, so you can see what a bumbling idiot does when he tries to DIY a build out. I mean, no question at all, I don't know what I'm doing when I do this. And that is going to be very clear and evident when I come back through and start putting up the wall panels in a couple of days, because the wall panels are 48 inches. The studs are supposed to be 48 inches. Not all of them are indeed 48 inches. In fact, it's supposed to be 48 inches on center. And I know for a fact, I'm fairly certain that they are not completely 48 inches on center. There's going to be at least 2 or 3 circumstances where I'm going to have to trim a board, trim a panel, so that it fits. But that'll be in the next 5 days when I start that production process. The next stage of the build out. Hope y'all are enjoying seeing my butt. All right, that's as far as I can go on this side. I'm not going to keep just unloading bottles. I have other stuff that I'm going to be doing. I just wanted to get a start with those bottles there. I probably only have about 5 cases left in here to bottle up, so the bottling process is going to be much quicker than it was the last time, because I just don't have nearly as much to bottle. But every 27 seconds, and plus a little bit of time, every 27 plus a little bit, I get 4 bottles of whiskey. And the first bottle of whiskey is always a little bit bubbly, because it's got air in the whiskey line. But I'm going to move my bottles over a little bit to make a little bit of space on the table here. And then we're going to get crack-a-lacking. So I think what I'm going to talk about, what I'm trying to do for my happy hours, my Whiskey Fueled Nonsense happy hour Wednesday, what I'm trying to do is create like a theme where I do some shorts that are related to the content, do at least one short form video, 2-3 minute video related to the content. I didn't do it this last week. This last week was the Bloody Mary. No, the week before that was the Bloody Mary. I don't remember what I did this week. This last week, I don't know if I had a specific theme this last week. No, age statements. Yeah, I did. I had age statements. It was whiskey content, actually, on the whiskey themed nonsense. Go figure. All right. Move these bottles over here because they are already finished, and some of them have actually been sold. That case has already been cracked, if you will. But the week before that was the Bloody Marys. Talking about Bloody Marys. And that just fucking dreadful drink. There's nothing good. I don't care what anybody tells you. Bloody Marys are fucking terrible drinks. They're the worst damn drinks on the planet. I need an extension cord to plug in my phone. Excuse me. and I will die on that hill. I will absolutely die on that hill. My brother commented on the post I had on Twitter that I've just never had a good one, and that's true. I haven't ever had a good one because that is not an animal that exists. It's like saying you've never seen a flying dog. You're right. I've never seen a flying dog, and there's a reason for that. Because dogs don't fly. I mean, you can't see a thing that isn't, right? So yeah, no, I've never seen a flying dog, and I've also never had a good Bloody Mary because there's no such thing as a good Bloody Mary. And I went the extra mile, I think, or at least an extra couple of steps with the show on Wednesday a couple of weeks ago. I mixed two different Bloody Marys. I mixed a Bloody Mary that was a traditional Bloody Mary. I'm actually playing a video game on my phone right now. I mixed a traditional Bloody Mary as well as um, a pre-mixed Bloody Mary, where all you have to do is add the vodka. And they both tasted like absolute shit. They were both absolute dog shit drinks. They were horrible. Um, and I thoroughly recommend anybody and everybody to throw them in the trash when you accidentally get one. Um, you're right, William. You haven't gotten it yet. I'm watching it. I know I was supposed to put it in the mail last week, Thursday, as a matter of fact. I was supposed to put it in the mail Thursday, but I did not. So it's going to be a little bit longer, but I promise you it's going to be worth the wait. Back this out just a little bit. There, that's good. I promise you it'll be worth the wait. And it's 100% on me. With the we had our 30th high school reunion on Friday. I was hosting a tailgate for the class of 1993 from the Humble High School. So I was very busy on Thursday and Friday putting together logistical details, making sure we had electricity, making sure that the electricians had shown up, making sure that things got plugged in, doing the last minute stuff. I even went and bought a tarp to put up on the wall so that we had a wall. But then as I started putting the tarp up on the wall, it felt really trashy, and I vetoed that decision, and we did not do that because it would have looked like shit. So there is all that. But I'm absolutely. I tell people I'm not in the logistics business. I'm really bad at putting packages in the mail and getting them out the door. But I will get your package out the door. I promise. You were the winner. And as the winner, you get privileges, which is to have your package delivered. And I will get it done. I promise. We also had, I talked about this a little bit last week, church committee stuff that I had to do. I'm on the nominating committee for my church for session elders and deacons. And I have to pick people to lead the church, which is generally something that, I'm generally opposed to because I have an issue with leadership in general. But as a leader in the church, I have to do this thing. But I'm making every effort not to put my finger on the scale. I'm trying to make sure new people are selected to church leadership. New people haven't been there for a while. People who are new to the church leadership game. Because quite frankly, the people who have been in leadership in the past just haven't done a very good job in leading the church. sure I'm getting good. Yeah, good video. Good. So yeah, busy times here at the Old Humble Distilling Company. Busy times. But that's not your problem, and it's not your fault. And your box will be in the mail, delivered soon. Sooner rather than later. Every day, it's a day closer to getting delivered. But one thing that is true right now, the weather here is beautiful. Yeah, I mean, all right, that's a problem. Put this here out of the way. Thank you. I have tastings that I need to go to starting Wednesday. Tomorrow is Halloween. Wednesday night. Am I in College Station Wednesday night? Am I not going to have a show this week? I am not going to have a show this week because I'm going to be in College Station Wednesday night. I guess I don't need to plan a show this week. Oh, well, what I was saying earlier is I'm trying this thing where I develop a theme for the week. I have some shorts that are related to the show idea that I want to do on Wednesday. And then those shorts are tied to a short form video, a shorter form video that's only the 2-3 minute video. And then the full length happy hour is what it is, where we talk about, I more broadly discuss the topic at hand. So in the case of Bloody Marys, I'd have a bunch of shorts about the Bloody Mary, and then a couple of those shorts will be linked back to a longer form video. And what I need to do is get my shit together to record the short form video first, the longer form video, I guess. I need to record the short form video first, then the shorts, then the live. And do a couple of shorts connected to the short form and a couple of shorts connected to the live, so that when 1,600 people see the short form video, a couple of them click or see the short, a couple of them click through the short form, and a couple of them click through to the live. See if that actually boosts the numbers for engagement and all that shit. Because I'm not a YouTuber. I've said this 1,000 times, and I'll say it 1,000 more times. I'm not a YouTuber. I am a whiskey guy who has a YouTube channel. I'm not a YouTuber with a whiskey distillery. But a lot of the same principles that you can apply to marketing a product like whiskey can also be applied to marketing something like a YouTube channel, except for the fact that a lot of the growth and benefit, or a lot of the growth and visibility you get on YouTube is controlled by Google. Because it's their algorithm that controls your future and controls your visibility. And if you run afoul of the algorithm, then you are dead. They will come and drag you out into the night and feed you to hyenas or something. I'm not exactly, I haven't read the consequences of running afoul of the algorithm, but that's my understanding. It may or may not be accurate. All right. So where we're at right now, two more, go down 12. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So that's 18. And if I had 2 more rows, that'll be 18 cases plus 3 more cases. That'd be 21 cases on the table, which I think is about how much I should have in here if I get that far. That's good. So what I'm doing at the end of this is I'm leveling off the bottles. We need 750 milliliters in the bottles, and this is a not 100% accurate. Every time you run the machine, it comes within a few millimeters or milliliters of accurate. Comes within the margin of error, if you will. I don't want to take out too many bottles also, because I don't want to have to put these things back, and I don't want them just sitting out collecting dust all over the place. Six more over here, and that should do it, or come close to doing it at least. I got a sneeze coming up. But I may be quite close with this batch here. It's an odd number too, so I'm going to put this one back in case, but I may pull it back out just in case I need it. We'll see. But we're getting extremely close to the end of the line. Oh, damn it. That's good. And also we have air bubbles that are perpetually in the line of this thing, and the bubble is perpetually moving from here to there to here to there, and it's always giving us just a little bit of variation on how much alcohol we're getting in the bottles themselves. But I know where the 750 mark is on the bottle, thanks to doing this thousands of times and having a tremendous amount of experience in filling bottles, because that's why I got an MBA at the University of Houston, so that I could fill bottles with a fairly accurate eye. No, I don't have a chemistry background. That was one of the things that came up at our 30th reunion. They asked me, "You have a chemistry background?" I'm like, nope. I don't remember you being particularly good at chemistry. That's because I wasn't. But you don't have to know the chemistry to make alcohol. The yeast do that without my help. I kind of got to know the logistics and the physics of delivering shit to where it needs to go and making sure it gets there, making sure supply chains are open, and making sure supply chains are functioning. That's pretty much it. There's a lot of moving parts to something like this. Y'all are seeing the very tail end of it. And the stuff that y'all don't see is when I get in my car and I drive an hour and a half to College Station to do a tasting, and I'm talking to managers and talking to bars and talking to restaurant staff and trying to get our whiskey placed in locations. Telling about specials that we're trying to run. Some things we only have available to independent operators, and we don't have the specials available to places like, the big chains, because, well, they get price breaks. They get volume discounts already from the distributor. But little mom and pop shops, they don't have the buying power, so we try to support them in the same way that our distributor supports the big guys. Whoops. But this whiskey here is our straight whiskey. The purple label. There it is. See that okay? I think you can. That is our purple label straight whiskey. 90% corn, 10% malted barley. We aged it 5 years in used bourbon barrels. Okay, let's see here. We've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Less 4 or less 2 would be 6. So I got about a case to fill the row. Whoops. Beautiful. I've got about a case to fill the rows, which are going to be 21 cases total. Actually, it was 22 cases total. Because I filled up another case and already sent it out to the tasting room. This case is bound for the tasting room, so it was 22 cases total for this particular batch. Now that's important because I got to mark that down in my procedures and processing journal. I'm also going to need to get more of these, I believe. Spill. That's good. Balance this out a little bit. There we go. Beautiful. Uh-huh. Ooh-wee. And I know exactly what goes on in your head immediately after I say, ooh-wee. Which is exactly why I did it, because now that song's going to be stuck in your head. Mwahahaha. I don't normally go live on Monday nights. This is a departure from norms for me. I hardly ever go live on Tuesday nights. But I do believe Monday nights is going to become a members-only night. When I go live from the distillery proper, when we do our live shows from the distillery, we'll do game shows and entertainment from the distillery. I'm working on a tabletop game campaign with my entertainment MC Alex, as well as a game show, but the game show is drinking related, so that game show can't be done live at the distillery. It has to be done safe and sound from the confines of your own home. But that show, the actual drinking game, will be a members invite show. So before we can get that up and running, we need about 15 or 20 members to the channel, actual members, for at least the first tier of memberships so they can get the invitations rather. Okay, we definitely do not have 4 more bottles to fill, but I'm going to put down 4 more bottles and see how much we get. I think I've got about 2 full bottles in there, maybe 3, but we shall see. We shall see. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, let's see how close I was on my estimation. Watching it go, watching it go, watching it go. Gonna give me more than I thought. I might get 4 full bottles. That's sucking air. Already sucking air. All right. It did give me 4 full bottles, although those aren't full. So they're going to consolidate to 4 nearly full bottles. And 1 bottle, well, these are all going to go to the bar. So hold on 1 second. I got to listen to something outside. Something's happening outside. I got to take an ear. What the hell is going on out here? We're getting a little rain. That's what I hear. It's a little sprinkle. Damn, it's cold out there. I'm hungry. I am hungry. All right, so we're going to cork these boys. Yo Tango Angre. Isn't that a word? Estoy Angre. I don't know what the Spanish word for hungry is. I don't know. I probably ought to. I don't know. Should I? I know calor is hot. And I know Berliner is a type of jelly donut, but that's in German. And our American president, Mr. John Fitzgerald Kennedy, took to a microphone in West Germany at the Berlin Wall and proudly announced to everyone in Germany and on the world who was listening that he is a jelly donut. Ich bin ein Berliner. That literally translates to jelly donut, because ein Berliner is a type of jelly donut in Germany. All right, so that's 3 more. So it was 22 cases. And my estimation of this batch was 22 cases. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And that is 12 cases, or 12 bottles times 18 is 18 cases, plus 1. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is 1 case 3 times. So that is 3 additional cases. So 18 plus 3 is 21. 21 plus this case, which already went to the bar, is 22 cases. And now this bottle is not quite full, so it is the one that we take a drink out of for a job well done in filling the bottles. And it also is my sample to confirm quality of the batch. Cheers to you fine folks out there. Have a great afternoon. Have a great evening. I'm not done yet. The next step is neck seals on all these bottles. Delicious. God damn, that is delicious, though. I mean, it's as much habit as it is true. Every time I take a drink of my whiskey, I tap the shot glass and say, delicious. But Jesus, something can be traditional and true at the same time. And man, I tell you, I wouldn't make it if it wasn't good. I would not do it if it wasn't good. It's hard to go do a tasting for your own product if you don't believe in your own product. If you can't stand there and drink your product in front of people, with people, and be honest about the quality of the product, because there's plenty of people that don't like my product, and that's fine. But if I was one of those people, then I would have conscience issues. And I'm also not going to lie and say that every batch we've made has been the best batch we've ever made, because there have been steps backwards in the production process. But I am very proud to say that with each iteration we've had in the new facility, each time we've produced another batch, especially of our bourbon, in the new facility, every single barrel that I've tapped has been a step in the right direction over the course of the last 2 years. 3 years since coming to this new facility. Well, I guess it was 2 years really, because it was the end of 2020 when we were beginning to make batches 100% in the new facility. So I guess it would have been October 2020. So at this point, when we started in the new facility, or when we started making stuff 100% in the new facility, our first 100% rainwater batch, our first 100% blended, mixed, whatever in this shop would have been that October. Okay, this bottle does not need to be sealed. These 3 do. 2, a 3, a 1, a 2, a 3. All right, and I am going to need to get new neck seals as well, because I don't think I have any more after this box runs out. Which is exciting, because that means I've done like 1,000. Because this is a box of 1,000? Yeah. It's 1 mil count. All right, so the next step in the process is we shrink seal the neck, put on the neck seals, shrink seal all the bottles. I think our next Wednesday night happy hour show is going to be over hangovers. And I may need to cut those shows back to once every 2 weeks. Over the holidays, because I'm going to be traveling a lot, doing the tastings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so it's 7 on both sides. Good. I'm only going to be here for a couple of hours. I'm not. What time is it already? 7:39. Okay, so I've probably only got 2 more hours to go before I really need to get out of here and get home. I need to eat dinner. I need to go home. Tell my kids good night. They're going to already be in bed by 10, but I hope they're going to be in bed by 10. Let's see here. What else did we talk about last week on the show? We briefly talked about the scourge that is boomers. Is this the right bands for my whiskey? Yeah, it is. Yeah, we got the right stuff. Yeah. Talks briefly about boomers and how they've literally ruined everything they touched. And that came up because I was in the midst of a email back and forth with a church boomer, which is the worst kind of boomer. Self-righteous, know-it-alls. We're all like, you're doing yeah, 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 yeah. Like, you don't know me at all, woman. Back off. I'm gonna have to look. I am gonna have to look and see if I have more of these. Hang on. JLM's in the house. Cheers, JLM. I'm gonna go off camera real quick and take a quick gander to see if I have another box of these shrink seals somewhere in my facility. And if I do, they're gonna be over here. The item code on them is 24. Something, 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 24. I got these, which are 25s. That's not what I need. So maybe I don't have any more. I thought I might have. but I do not see them, at least not presently. I'm sure they've been placed somewhere and then moved somewhere else, and then placed somewhere else and moved somewhere else. And as soon as I order them and spend whatever, $100 or so for a whole damn shipment of them. Motherfuck! I just found all the goddamn tape that I ordered. I've got shit tons of tape, and I went and ran to Office Depot to get more, Office Depot to get more tape because I thought I'd run out. That's where it's been the whole damn time, underneath this table. Shit on me. God dang it. So damn annoying. But see, the thing is, I move stuff around in order to organize stuff, and then I can't find it because it's no longer where I know it had been. More vodka packs. More vodka packs. I got 3 boxes of vodka shrink seals. And no boxes of whiskey shrink seals. 1923. 23 is too small for whiskey. I got one more U-line box to look in over here. In what is going to become my office. And that is an empty fucking box. Of course it is. Because why wouldn't it be an empty box? Why would I have a box with stuff in it? Why wouldn't I have a box that's completely empty and useless? I mean, I just fucking store air in boxes all over my facility because apparently I need that air for later. I do have a couple boxes at the house, though. I don't know why I have them there. Gigi Poosh. A pickle factory. I could use some automation. But in order to do automation, I need more volume. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to spend $25,000 on a piece of equipment that will pump out a bottle a minute or 10 bottles a minute, whatever, when I'll only run that equipment for 3 hours a month. It doesn't make any damn sense. I could use some more automation, but we're not at the volumes yet that makes that automation worth it. That makes it sensible. I don't want to sell $12 whiskey. I don't want to sell $9 whiskey. I want to sell mid to premium, mid-level to premium level whiskeys. I want to sell whiskeys that are good. They're at the high end. They're either at the high end to middle end of the mid range. I'm sorry. Low to middle end of the mid range of pricing, or high middle pricing to low premium pricing. That's kind of where I have my bourbon positioned. It's at the low end of the premium market, the high end of the mid market. And the others are at the low end of the mid market or the high end of the low market. You look at the whiskey, oh, it's only $30. Jeez. It's only $35. Jeez. That's a fucking bargain. I know. It's a great bargain. Because this is middle to high middle quality. That's a low mid to high low. Talking segmenting here. This is fucking marketing talk. It's talking craft, opacity. But I mean, this is the shit I think about all day long. Like, do I need to lower the price on my bourbon, or do I stick to my guns? Do I keep it at $60, or do I drop it down to 50? Like, I don't want to sell $50. I don't want my bourbon to be $50 bourbon, you know? I mean, I could sell it for $15. I'd lose a shit ton of money on it, but you know, I could make and sell $15 bourbon. Do I want to make and sell $15 bourbon? No. I don't want to compete in that realm. Because if you're making and selling $15 bourbon, now you're competing with a $9 billion corporation that is Beam Suntory. You're competing with Brown Forman. You're competing with Diageo. You're competing with all these other guys that I don't have the resources to compete with those guys. I barely have the resources to compete with the guys in my market segment. But also, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I left off a whole row here for three rows. But also, you know, it's a prestige thing. You know, just like it's a brand management thing. Just like Mercury doesn't want to sell $5,000 cars. They don't want to sell cheap, low value or low cost cars. They want to sell premium. Does Mercury even exist anymore? You know, Oldsmobile. You know, they don't want to sell entry level vehicles. They want to sell to your parents and grandparents. They want to sell fancy cars with all the whiz bang accessories. They want to sell to people with disposable income who can afford the finer things. And that's the people that I want to sell to as well. I want to sell to people with disposable income who like the finer things, who are willing to spend a little bit more on a bourbon that tastes a little bit better. That's, you know, a little bit more rare, a little bit harder to get your hands on. You know, people camp out overnight to get one of the 200 cases of Eagle Rare 15 year that was released. I mean, shit, I don't think I've made 200 cases of my Boomtown bourbon this entire year. Of course, I would have if I had the product on hand. But we were still in a facilities transition mode. But now that we're getting out of the facility transition mode, my goal is to have this behind me finished by Thanksgiving for sure. But I do have a group coming in on the 11th. So even if we don't have it fully painted and finished, I certainly want walls in and taped and mudded. For the 11th. And then by the end of Thanksgiving, I would like to have it painted with at least a white coat of primer so that I can begin putting the finishing touches of wood on the walls. I wouldn't mind having full wood panels, but I think I'm going to stick to the original plan of repurposed pallet wood being cut off the pallets and put onto the walls. Every piece being approximately 2 feet. And every pallet giving me approximately 8 pieces. Which means for a 9-foot wall that is 27 feet long, with these planks being 2 inches wide, I need, something like 200 planks. That's not right. 4.5 feet divided by 2, right? So 4.5 times 12 be 4860. So I need something like 60 planks going up to the ceiling. Those aren't 2 feet wide, are they? 2 inches wide? They're more like 3 inches wide. So I wouldn't need 60, I'd need 40 planks going up the ceiling. And if they're 2 feet wide on average, then I'm going to need 50 of them. So that's going to be 60. I'm not going to have enough fucking shrink seals to finish this out. Am I? I might. Barely have enough. I'm running so short on shrink seals. I got to put in an order for those. I got to put in an order for sheetrock. Got to buy speakers. Got to buy LED strips. Oh my goodness. Look at this. 2, 3, 4. I came 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shrink seals left. How about that? For just-in-time manufacturing. Whew. Who's here? Trumpet Master 77 Barbecue. Cheers, Trumpet Master. Leanne, Texas. I don't think we're in Leanne, Texas. You give me a store name and I will call them up. You tell me where you get your whiskey from at Trumpet Master Barbecue. You tell me who to go to. You tell me the store and I will go to that store and we will make it happen. I will call them up and I will say, we're doing an event. We're doing a tasting. We're doing a demo with my friend. They don't need to know. I am doing a demo at the barbecue place. We're doing a day-long thing. I don't know where Leanne, Texas is. But I'll do it, man. I will do it. Have whiskey, will travel. Losing proof doing it this way. What? Losing proof doing it this way. What are you talking about? I'll lose proof. All right, I got to plug this thing in real quick. I did not. I need a quad plug on this side, on that side of the shop, and I didn't do a quad plug. I did a dual plug. I need a quad plug. You ought to have no idea what I'm doing right now, but because I'm behind the camera. But I just knocked the cheesy poofs off the table. Let's see if this works. It did not. Great. Ugh. Cheesy poofs. I don't normally like this cheesy poof, cheese puff shit. Because it's not food. It's just air. But I'm hungry. And if you get hungry enough, you eat damn near anything. A.B. I thought you meant Leander. All right. Hang on a second. Let me write this down. I'm dead serious. As a fucking heart attack. AB Liquor. AB Liquor, 2036, North, U.S. Highway 183. Leander, Texas. That is, by the way, how you pronounce it for all of you else, everybody else out there. It's Leander. It's not Leander. It's Leander. 78641. All right. I have it written down. I will look it up tomorrow. I will make the. Let's see how far away it is from Humble. 2036 North US 183. Leander. That is 165 miles from here. 3 hours and change. You know, I'm going to be in College Station on Thursday. That's nowhere near College Station. It's on the other side of Austin. Huh. I'm going to be in College Station on Wednesday. Oh, fuck it. I don't care. I'll drive out there. I'm not going to drive out there Thursday or Wednesday, but I'll drive out there. I'll fucking make a trip out there to talk to these people. Or at the very least, I'll call them on the phone. I'll call them on the phone. We'll set up a thing. They can make the order. Make the order, do the things, and we'll if they want to do the order, if they want to do the thing, we'll do a whole promo thing. Princess Kick Butt is in the house. Cheers, Princess. Always nice to have royalty joining us on the show. So now we've got the next step of the process, which is doing these shrink seals on the bottles. These are the bottles that we are finishing right here. I keep tripping over wires because I put them in unfortunate places. Your butt? No. No. Yeah, about 20 minutes on the other side of Austin. That is correct. But I also make trips to Austin on a fairly regular basis because our whiskey is available in Austin. And those are actually pretty good stores for me going to Austin. I need my Lazy Susan. Where is my Lazy Susan? Oh, Susan. Oh, Susan, darling. Where are you, you little bitch? My gin guy is coming tomorrow to drop off my gin. Makes it sound like I have a genie. My gin guy, here's my Lazy Susan. My gin guy is coming tomorrow to drop off bottles so that I can begin the process of bottling the remainder of our gin. Nope. And that'll go there. That also means that I will have more floor space freed up to do more whiskey. My hope is to have, by the end of this, by the end of December, the beginning of January, 4 pallets of bourbon barrels aging on the floor of the distillery. Our rye will be in bottles, and our bourbon, if we can get everything into barrels, by the end of December, we can have everything in bottles by the beginning of September. Get that good summer aging in, you know? Because that good summer aging really, yeah, I'm not talking about like aggressive outdoor 150, 150 degrees inside of a storage container type of aging. I'm talking about like just good, high, sustained or low and slow, sustained like barbecue heat, you know? I don't need it to get super hot. I'm okay with it staying, I mean, it's super hot for humans. Don't get me wrong. I don't have any problem with it staying at like 100 degrees for 2 months, but I don't need it to spike up to 120 and then come back down and then spike back up and then come back down. I don't need all that shit. But if I can get that bourbon into barrels, that means I have to have enough money to have barrels. I have to have enough money to sustain rent, be able to sell all the other products that we have on the shelves. It means we have to have other products while the bourbon ages. There's so many moving parts. So many moving parts. You know, with a barrel, while the bourbon's in barrels, I need to be able to turn the rye over and turn over the rye, turn over the straight whiskey, turn over the special reserve. It's all a balancing act. Make sure you have enough of product A, enough of product B, enough of product C, while product D is sitting in the hopper, waiting to come out. And I got a little sideways in 2022 when we released the rye because all the resources went into the rye, and it was supposed to be a big launch, but the marketing company kind of shit the bed on that one. So the big launch for our rye didn't happen. We had a good event here at the distillery. Sold several cases here at the distillery in the first day when it was released. Sold several cases those next 3 months, but I shouldn't have had that product on hand because that product should have gone to the distributor, but the distributor didn't pick it up because the distributor just flat out lied to me. Or the marketing company lied to me. One of them lied to me. Told me they had the order, but they never placed it. And that led to a lot of other problems cascading through. So, you know, we didn't have the inventory of the straight whiskey, didn't have the inventory of the special reserve, only had the inventory of the rye. So then we were trying to sell the rye. But the distributor wasn't presenting the rye. Oh, how much of the backroom shit do you want to know about, huh? I'm an open book. I'll tell you all about it. I mean, doing this sort of thing is so much harder than I ever thought it was. Ever thought it would be. You know, running a business, you know, you think you just open the doors and people show up to your shop and you sell the product. You know, you make toys, you sell toys. I'm going to buy some toys, put my brand on it, sell the toys. It's not how it works. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I need one more over here. You know, growing up in suburban America, middle class, young man, you were not raised to be an entrepreneur. You were not raised to be a risk taker. Everything they give you, everything they teach you, everything they show you is, well, being raised as a Gen X young man in suburban America. Everything is moderated. You go to a good public school so that you can get a good education, so that you can show up on time and do a good job that has a good pension, that has a 401k, and you can get a good wife and raise a good family and a good house. No risks. No risk done. You get a good job. You get a good job. You're going to get a good pay. That good pay is going to get you a good salary. Things a house. You're going to put money into your 401k. All your wealth is going to grow over time, and then you're going to retire with your 401k and your Social Security, and maybe if you're lucky, a pension. And your house will have appreciated value, and you will have paid it off in the course of time, or you will have sold it and moved up to a bigger house, moved up to a bigger house, and moved up to a bigger house every approximately 5.5 years. Nobody buys. You buy 5 to 10 years worth of payments in a house. Nobody buys a house. And maybe you buy a couple of rental properties. Make a little bit of extra cash on the side. Your family. Your family will appreciate it. Make a little bit extra spend of cash. Use them. Houses for what you owe on them, and you're fine. Maybe a little bit more than what you owe. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. That's how you're raised in the middle class. That's how you're programmed. No risk necessary. Everything nice and easy. Avoid debt. Avoid debt. Get an education. Buy a house. Get married. Have 2.5 kids. Avoid car payments, because that's debt, right? You don't need car payments if you don't have to have them. And then everything will be fine. At 55, you retire. At 55, you retire. Start pulling money from your 401k. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is 7. I screwed up. There. Gonna start over. 55 and a half, you start pulling money from your 401k. I mean, if you can avoid it, you wait a few more years. Then you and your spouse, you retire, start living on $5,000 a month, cut back your expenses, maybe sell the house, get into a smaller house, buy an RV, travel the world. That's your life plan. But that's not the world we grew up in. That world was the world that my parents grew up in. And to a large extent, the world my older brother grew up in and my older sister, until she had an accident, and that was all ripped away from her. And that was not the world that I grew up in. The world I grew up in doesn't have pensions. The world I grew up in does not have employer loyalty. The world I grew up in does not have rental homes that you can easily buy and rent out to people. Because the world I grew up in, by the time I graduated college in 98, was in the midst of its first financial crisis. The first financial crisis of my adult lifetime. Second financial crisis of my adult lifetime in 1998. And then in 01, the third financial crisis of my adult lifetime, the tech bubble collapse. The first one was the Enron collapse. The second one, or the first financial crisis, the first black swan event, let's put it that way, was the financial crisis of 1998 when Enron collapsed. The second black swan event, just a couple years later, was the tech bubble collapse. The third black swan event was just a couple years later, I believe there was a monetary crisis brought in another country. I don't remember what that was. It might have been Russia almost defaulting on its debt, something like that. So the problem here is I got 14. 14 is only divisible by two numbers, 7 and 2. So normally I would stack this up if it was 6. I would stack it up as 6. I'd start with 6, and then I'd go with 4 and 4. And then I would go with 3, 3, 3, and 3, 4, 4, 4, 4, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, and then 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, all the way down to 12. And then I would start filling that in, and by the time I filled it in, I'd be at the end of the row. But this is 14, so I got 7 and 7, and now it's going to be 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. And then I'm going to try and do 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to. Anyway. So yeah, before I bought my first house, there were already three major black swan once in a lifetime events. And then shortly after I bought my house, there was the greatest financial crisis of my lifetime, which almost caused a whole fucking recession and a collapse of the monetary system and the international trading system, and did cause a collapse of Lehman Brothers. Almost brought the entire financial market to a grinding halt, almost caused insurance companies like AIG to go bankrupt. The world we were promised as Gen Xers, as kids, died in like 1996. And then it kept dying again and again and again, year after year after year. What I'm saying is, as a middle-class suburban kid, it's extremely hard to rewrite your programming in the face of apocalyptic meltdowns. And as a middle-class suburban kid who is actively trying every freaking day when I wake up to rewrite my programming, to take risks, to take calculated risks, sensible, calculated risks. As opposed to doing, because, we were told these things are risk-free. Put your money in an indexed fund. Risk-free. Because it follows the market, and the market goes up. You never have 5-year periods of market decline. You never have 10-year periods of market decline. The market never declines. You don't bet against American economy. Blah, 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 blah. In 1998, there were ETF funds that were literally contra funds. They were funds that went up when unemployment went up. They were funds that gained in value when economic indicators were bad. And that was in the late 90s and early 2000s. And, to a large extent, the world we grew up in still exists, but it exists for people who have 3 commas in their bank, or 2 commas in their bank accounts, or in their net worth. It doesn't exist for people that only have 1 comma in their net worth. You know what happens if you die and you have $250,000 to your name? That goes to your retirement home, your assisted living facility, the doctors who replaced your knees, the doctors who take care of your medical needs after you have your first, second, and third coronary event. That goes to your caregivers after you have a stroke. That goes to the doctors and nurses who care for you in your sunset home as you fade away from dementia. All that nest egg is money waiting to be transferred to insurance companies, hospitals, funeral homes, and cemeteries, and pharmaceutical companies by way of insurance companies. That's all that shit is. They're just waiting to take your money. They thank you for saving up $250,000 so that they can take it. That's all. If you only got one comma, this world is designed to leave you destitute. I know, I'm such a happy-go-lucky guy today, aren't I? Oh, gee, old double guy, that's a really happy message you've got there. Yep, that's how it's been made. I mean, I'm not going to say they did it. They don't exist. We did it. We put the people in office. We put the people in power who made the rules that work against us. All so that we could have cheap appliances, cheap hamburgers, cheap shirts, cheap clothing, uh, cheap plates, kitchenware. Also, we could have cheap shit in our house. Also, that we could have skillets that lasted for 3 years, and that we would then throw away and get a new one because the Teflon coating is garbage after three fucking years. I'm getting salty, getting worked up. But God forbid we make the investment into solar panels because we want cheap gas. Why would we turn our backs on cheap gasoline? After all, Exxon's in our 401ks. Are we going to work against our 401ks? Can't work against our 401ks. It's in our best interest to perpetuate the model that has kept us poor and stupid. Why would we do anything different? Why would we go against our programming? Let's cut taxes, cut taxes, cut taxes, cut taxes. You know what could have been done with the trillions of dollars of taxes that we cut since the early 1980s? We could have fought 2 wars a year and invested in public education, K through 16. We could have invested in housing for people. We could have invested in utilities. We could have gone the route of cheap, abundant electricity for everyone. The promise of the 1950s. Cheap, abundant electricity. That's what all those futuristic dreams of America that we saw from Disney and Raytheon Corp and General Motors and everything, that's what they envisioned. They envisioned a world that had cheap energy. Because back then it was expensive. Utilities are expensive. Lighting was expensive. It was a significant portion of your income. Long distance phone calls. Y'all remember? I mean, some of y'all may not be old enough, but it used to cost $1 a minute to make a long distance phone call. Cell phones, you paid by the minute. Cell phones weren't. They had local and national plans. You had a local coverage area. There was the company that eventually became AT&T here in Texas, or here in Houston, was called Singular. It worked on the AT&T network. Their coverage area was basically Galveston, Houston, Porter, Conroe, Woodlands. Their coverage area was basically the size of like Georgia. It was a Houston area. Maybe not Georgia, maybe like Vermont. Wow, fuck me. But it was a huge coverage area. And when they went through the cellular consolidation mode, Singular kept its name longer than any other place. I didn't have enough space to go two at a time. I got to start clearing out rows. Because their coverage area was so big. They were so popular in the city of Houston because their coverage area was tremendous for people in the city of Houston. But if you wanted to call nationwide, it cost you $1 a minute to call like Oklahoma. Because that was considered long distance. You wanted to call Dallas, that was long distance. And then eventually the coverage area was all of the state of Texas. But calling Louisiana was $1 a minute. I mean, it's hard to imagine today we can just pick up the phone and call Washington. You know, I can pick up the phone and call Ted Cruz's office in Washington, D.C. and harass his poor staff, asking them how I should account for thoughts and prayers if I'm going to donate thoughts and prayers to his campaign for Senate. Oh, you don't have to account for thoughts and prayers. I don't have to count it as I don't have to declare it on my taxes and count it as a political contribution if I'm contributing thoughts and prayers to his campaign. No, because that's not financial assistance or a tangible gift. Oh, so when he says thoughts and prayers to the families of yet another shooting because he didn't do a goddamn thing about it, you're basically saying that that's not a tangible action. That's just fucking nothing. A whole big pile of nothing. Okay, that's great. When's the senator going to do anything? Literally anything. Oh, we don't do anything. I know you don't do anything, you fucking twats. Anyway, I don't want to get too worked up, especially about that piece of shit. I don't want to spend too much energy even thinking about him. Hopefully, he won't be in office too much longer because we have an election next year. If you're in the state of Texas, by the way, early voting has begun. Get out there, vote early, vote often. Kidding, don't vote often, just vote once. No candidates are being voted for except for in the Houston mayoral election and Houston City Council, I believe. Everything else is state propositions. And constitutional amendments. So there's that. So what I'm doing now is putting the shrink seals on the bottles. What these shrink seals do is basically tell you that this bottle has not been tampered with since it left the distillery. And it's entirely possible that the seals can break, they can come off. That is not our fault. And my goal is to have it feel like a well-fitted sock. You know, I don't want it to be like a loose sock. I want it to be like a properly fitting sock. Nice and tight, nice and smooth. The plastic shrink wrap should feel like an extension of the glass. That's how it ought to feel. Doesn't always. Sometimes I mess it up. But as near as I can tell, I am the only person. I've yet to find somebody else that I trust with this job. I've had other people do it. I was like, look, I'm at work. Can you just come in and do the shrink seals? I've already filled the bottles. I've already corked the bottles. I've already done all the other stuff. This last task takes me like 3 hours. Can you come in and do that while I'm at work? And when I've had somebody come in and do it, I've had to redo like half of them. So I don't do that shit anymore. There's no point in paying somebody to come in and do it when I have to redo the fucking work. But this can singe my delicate little fingers, so I need to be careful. So as to not singe my delicate little fingers. And these bottles, I believe, will be making the trip across the city of Houston in just a few weeks. So that's kind of nice. Things are picking up. Things are picking up. Things are getting a little bit more exciting. Little by little. Put you right up there. And you right up there. Boom. Now why? Oh, I see why. Like, why is this unbalanced? Why is this out of alignment? What did I do wrong? I see what I did wrong. This should be up here. And then this one would go here. And then, let's see here. This one? Yeah. All right. Give me a topic to talk about. There's at least 2 people in here with me. What do y'all want to hear? What a question to answer. Give me a question. Ask me anything. I will answer as honestly as I can if it's about my company, or as comically as I can if it's about life and the universe and everything. But if not, then I'm just going to mind my own business here for a minute because I'm hungry. I'm going to go get myself a drink of water. I'll take a quick break, walk over here. This is where my door is going to be. I'm going to open the door, pantomime opening a door, find my mug, which is around here somewhere, grab some cheesy poofs. Cheesy poof. Cheesy poof. There's my mug. I got some ice. in my mug. Whoops. Missed my mug with the ice. Ice goes in the mug. Cheesy poof go in my mouth. All right. My water tank. I should have filled up my water tank today, but I did not. So that'll have to be done tomorrow. Okay. Who's here? All right. Oh, big shout out to my 2,480 subscribers. Is my chat window not working? Is it not working? Let me see. Chat. It is not. Oh, I see. I have it on top chat, not live chat. I'll put it on live chat. There it is. But I also need to refresh this page. It looks. Come on. Huh. Something's not working. Something is suspicious. What if I closed it and it returned over here to the chat window? Hold on, guys. Working on some technical difficulty. Trying to create a technical difficulty, technically. Okay, so now I'm going to pop out chat again. Pop out chat. Bring this back to live. All right. There it is. See what it's telling me. Make it bigger. Zoom 150. All right. So in just a second, it should correct itself so that we can see what we need to see. There it is. Do we have any of the chat window? There it is. All right. All fixed up. All fixed up. All fixed. All fixed. Except it says top chat right now. I'm going to fix that too. Go from top chat to live chat. And also, super chats are available. I do appreciate your tips. Every dollar of a super chat goes back to operations on the channel. We get super chat operations go back to the channel. Always and forever. Every dollar of it goes back to the channel. We are $10 or $15 away from our first $100 check from the YouTubes, which is exciting all by itself. It's exciting to finally get that first YouTube money, the internet money. Boom, all fixed. There it is. Super chats available. What does a super chat get you right now? It just gets you visibility and my eternal thanks. it going to do what it's supposed to do? And of course, you go right to the front of the line. Okay, we're not going to do that anymore. Did it stop being fixed? No, it's fixed. Okay, good. Super chats available. I don't know if I spelled available right. I probably didn't. Available. All right, there we go. Did that do it? Are we properly functioning again? Encoding overloaded. There it is. Okay, everything's working. There's the... I think the video's choked. All right. That's fine. Picture in picture. There I am, picture in picture. You see the hand over here? Nope, the hand is not there. All right. So now that I've gotten everything fixed on the chat window, the camera has frozen. So that's awesome. I can't deactivate it. I've got the boop. Yup. And then we create a new camera device. Using USB video that we will now activate. Cha-ching! Cuckoo! Come on. Activate up, camera. There it is. Let's see here. Stop. Let's see if we can get this fixed. That's me. But we want that one. Come on. There it is. All better. And fit it to the screen real quick. Any ideas on why this happens would be thoroughly appreciated. All right. Back to work, old humble guy. You slacker. I know, so damn lazy. I'm so damn lazy. So damn lazy. Let's see. We're about halfway through the table, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of 21. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. No, not quite halfway through. Okay. Boy, that killed everything off. Wouldn't mind having a wax dipping station, but I don't really have the means to add another step to my process. You know what I mean? It's already expensive enough to do what I do. Adding another expensive step to the on the other hand, little wax head on these bottles might give it that premium look and feel. You know what I mean? I think I am gonna shut this down in about 30 minutes. I'll get done as much as I can get done before 9 o'clock. I'd like to finish this tonight, though. I don't know. Kind of go back and forth on it. I'm not going to be able to start bottling gin until I get this off the table. But this could just be another hour or two of work labeling the bottles. That's going to be about 3 hours, honestly. Labeling the bottles, boxing the bottles. Hmm. There. I was able to do twos across, just not twos on a mirror image. Not mirrored twos. And I wouldn't have been able to do 7 on one side, 2 on the other, because that would be an uneven number. But I can start doing 7 on this side now. And then convert it to twos. So anyway, had my 30th high school reunion last week. This bottle's a little bit under full. It's okay. Part of the natural variance. All right, so now I got 7 and 7 over here. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. I should be able to get 14. Do the stack of 14 over here. I won't be able to do the stacks of 1 like I can normally do with rows of 12. Oops, put it in the wrong spot. If you got any questions, feel free to ask. And if I answer it well to your liking, feel free to drop a super chat to thank me. Itchy nose, itchy nose. Not because of cocaine. It's another thing the boomers ruined. Recreational drug use. It went from just a thing that people did occasionally, sometimes addictively, a little coke, a little meth, not meth, a little heroin, a little nip here, a little nip there, a little snuff, a little sniff. And they had to go and do it to excess. All their trippy acid shit. Do it to excess. Do it to the point where it got illegalized. Ruin it for everybody. And now we got to slink around in the shadows to do a little marijuana. Can't really say they ruined casual sex. AIDS kind of ruined casual sex. Some weird son of a bitch who either fucked a monkey or ate monkey brains. I'm not sure which one it was. Did they ever figure out who patient 0 was for that? I could look it up, but I don't want to. Not right now. Thought it was some Haitian guy. The glamorous life of a guy who makes whiskey. Ain't it glamorous, boys? Ain't it just? It's not just the leadership of our church today. The people who are choosing the vision of our church tomorrow. Asked to solve the problems of our church from yesterday and help us grow our church into the future. I've got to come up with a speech, not a speech, a solicitation for names announcement that the nominating committee for Atascocita Presbyterian Church, my church, the church that I go to, is seeking individuals who are willing and wanting to serve on session and as deacons, who are willing and wanting to serve on session and as deacons. So I've got to tell people, if you are willing and wanting, and give them a good reason to do it, you know, appeal to their vision, their hope of the future, etc., etc. Because the way I look at it, you're not just serving on the session. You are leadership for, you're in the governing body of the church, right? You're not telling people what to do, but you are absolutely trying to set the tone for the vision of the future of your church home, right? That's the idea, at least. All right, so I've got 1, 2, 3, then 2, then 14, 12, 10, 8, 6, 4, 2. And I would really hope that we would get nominees who are not on the verge of death. I really would hope. I mean, there's wisdom in age, but there's also the same damn mistakes that have been made for 20 years. There's something to be said about wisdom in age, but there's also something to be said about repeating the errors and mistakes that we've been repeating for years and trying to do something new and trying to do something different and reaching out to a new generation of churchgoers and doing church in a different way and re-envisioning how we are a community, a church community. Because we're not a missionary church. We're not an evangelical church. We don't do missions work. We don't do evangelism. We're a community church. We build community among each other. That's what we do. We're a community church. We do some mission work. We fund missions. We don't do mission work. We help mission-oriented organizations and mission-oriented people do mission work. That's what we do. And it's a noble mission. It's a noble cause. You know, we're not the ones who go out over the horizon. We provide funding to people who do. All the while, we build communities at home. And work to address the problems, the ills at home. And we are, to a large extent, missionaries in the Presbyterian missionary sense, where we live the life, walk the walk that we talk, so to speak. Care for others, make a home for others. A warm, inviting environment for others. That's what we do. We are a church family, a community church. And you know, just like any other community, you can go around and say, you know, somebody should look into that. Somebody should take care of that. Somebody should. Well, you know what? In this community, You are somebody. And if you're going to worry about somebody, you should be somebody. We have a very prominent, very popular mural here in the city of Houston, painted on an overpass, a a train trestle overpass that goes over Interstate 10, just north of downtown Houston, that says that be someone. It is the one of the most iconic pieces of graffiti you will ever see. One of the most iconic pieces of urban graffiti you will probably ever see in, I dare say, the whole damn world. I dare say the whole damn world. I just wasted, I just didn't waste. I burned up a uh, shrink wrap, and I can only afford to do that 6 times. But it is iconic. It is part of Houston's identity. You come here and you be someone. Something needs done. Someone needs to look into that. Someone needs to take care of that. Someone needs to, well, you know what? You are someone. In this community, especially a small church like what we've got, you are someone. And I am hoping, desperately hoping, that we get at least 1 or 2 people who are less than 40 years old on this session. But I suspect we're going to have the same mistakes made in the future as we make in the past. We get some more old blue hairs onto our session. The same old ideas. It's disappointing, really, because you see institutions and you see organizations with an opportunity to do something, an opportunity to take a new course, but they choose not to. And it's disappointing because, you see the cliff coming. They have steering wheels. They choose to not use them. They choose to drop the hammer. Like, maybe if we drive faster, we'll clear it. You've been driving towards this cliff for years. You need to change course. I got one person for sure, a fairly good idea that one person will be able to add one person who's youthful to the session. That'll be very helpful. Very hopeful. All right. So the last little bits are getting done here. Honestly, I don't know if I have if I go the full twos here. If I'm going to have enough to fill in the gap when I'm done. Because, you know, organizations need to be able to pivot. They need to be able to learn to be new organizations. And if the goal is just to be the same organization you've always been, just better, then that's how you die as an organization. That's how you die as a person. You know? I mean, think about it. As we get old, we get to a point in our life where we're just gonna, you know, we've learned everything we're gonna learn. This is just who I am and how I am. I only got like 3 years left. I ain't gonna quit smoking. You want me to quit? I'm 78 years old. Doctor says I only got 9 months to live. Why the hell would I quit smoking? Smoking brings me joy, right? I quit smoking. It's gonna do what? Extend my life by 3 months, 4 months, a couple of years, with me on a breath, on oxygen tanks because I've fucking ruined my lungs. Fuck that, right? I mean, we as people do that. Organizations don't have to do that. Organizations don't have to say, we've always done this, we should always do this, I'm going to do this forever. Organizations should be able to say, this ain't working, we need to quit doing it. Or, this isn't working, we need to quit doing it the way we've done it. This is a mission that our members don't support. Maybe we shouldn't be doing this mission anymore. I mean, it's sad when you watch an organization, an institution, a club, even if it's the Rotary Club or you know the Kiwanis or whomever, the city council. I mean, shit, your high school class reunion committee, whatever. I mean, the first 10-year reunion we did was the same old 10-year reunion. Rented out a ballroom at the Holiday Inn. I think it was the Hilton or the Sheraton. Rented out a holiday or the ballroom at a local hotel. Did the whole, you know, name tags, farthest drove, closest drove, most kids, least kids, first grandkids. I mean, it was the 10-year reunion. We didn't have any grandkids, but you know, military, non-military, you know, we all the silly little awards, whatever. And you know, you're basically going to the fucking 10-year reunion trying to show off that you made it. You figured it out. I got me a good grown-up big boy job. This is me in a suit. And you drink too much in the fucking hotel and you go upstairs and crash out in a hotel room, vomit in the bathtub a little while. You know, normal 10-year reunion stuff. Then you feel all awkward because for the next like week or so because you were trying to show off to people who you barely knew in high school, and you really didn't. And you realized 2 or 3 years later you really didn't have anything to show off about because all of you had shitty little middle class jobs. Nobody was doing anything exotic or new or crazy. You're all just doing different versions of the same fucking thing. There's a couple of you that went off to work for Intuit or TurboTax or whatever. Our valedictorian went to work at TurboTax. I graduated with Bertram Berry, who was a future Hall of Famer, possibly. Won a Super Bowl ring, I believe. With the Cardinals, I think he won a he was drafted by the Patriots. I think he won a Super Bowl ring. That year, the Cardinals won a Super Bowl. I don't remember. I had a math class with him, I think, 7th grade. He was technically class of 1992 because he graduated in December of 1992 so that he could go to enroll in the spring semester at Notre Dame, if I'm not mistaken. I think he went to Notre Dame. I don't remember. Oddly enough, I think I know where Bert went, but I don't remember where Orlando went, who was the valedictorian. Because we value football players more than we value valedictorians. As evidenced by the scholarship offers that Bert got. All three of the service academies, as well as like a half dozen or more colleges and universities, so that he could play football. Because again, we value football more than we value academics. I think I'm going to have one more row here of bottles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yep. I have one more row of bottles here. And go fill that row in. Now I'm going to hold that row off to the end. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to label these tonight. I'm going to go ahead and label them tomorrow. And get up here in the morning around 7:30, 8 o'clock. Leave the house around 7:30, 8 o'clock when my kids leave. Get up here. Get cracking. My gin will probably come around 9 or 10 o'clock. Should give me plenty of time to get these things labeled and done. Then I can spend the rest of the morning working on the proof of the gin. Proofing the gin to 80. It doesn't need to be filtered. It needs to be blended with water to get it down to 80 proof because I think it's high proof right now. Am I frozen? No, I'm not frozen. Okay. All right. This is an odd number. weird number. Am I gonna have like, huh? See how this shakes out. I'm curious. What was I saying? Oh, well, yeah. So the second time, our next 10-year reunion, the 20th, we did things a little bit differently, a little bit less formally. Because if we'd have done the same thing, 20th high school reunion, hotel, ballroom, all the same stuff, farthest traveled, most kids, most grandkids, least kids, closest traveled, least grandkids, all the same stupid shit that we did the year that, like, it. That time had passed. That was not, yeah. We did a semi-formal gathering. We rented out a place, or they rented out a place at a wine bar. Did a semi-formal gathering. At this wine bar in Kingwood, which was kind of cool. But kind of organically, what came together the next day or the night before, I can't remember if it was the night before or the next day, what kind of organically came together was just like everybody was like, hey, we're going to go hang out at Brad's bar, Two Mules Tavern, one of our classmates. He owned a bar called Two Mules Tavern. We're going to hang out at his place. Everybody kind of went and hung out at his bar. And it just, like, the call went out, like, hey, we're all going to go over here. And it just kind of came together that way. Kind of organically. Everybody just went and hung out. We all hung out for like 4 or 5 hours, just listening to music, talking, catching up, chilling out. A very chill, organic kind of hangout. And everybody loved it. So for the 30th reunion, the organizers, in their wisdom, decided, hey, why don't we just try and, like, do the organic hangout thing? We don't need to, like, plan ahead we certainly don't have to rent a space or have a ballroom or whatever. Let's just go and chill out and hang out and talk and listen to some music and have some drinks, do some drink specials, buy some food, just go and chill. Be a nice, cool, relaxed, like a little event. And that's what they did this year. On Friday afternoon and Friday evening, they came and hang out here. And then Saturday evening till Sunday morning, they went and hung out at Brad's place, Two Mules. And it was a good time. It was a good time to be had by all. Nice and relaxed, nice and informal. We didn't have to do dumb awards of most grandkids or least grandkids. I mean, we're all at like 48 now, Most of us are 48. We did have name tags. We did do the name tag thing, which was a little weird, but, I'm fine with that. We did the name tag thing. We talked, reminded everybody of who you were. Like, hey, I'm Joe. They're like, oh, you're the one with the Old Humble place. Yeah, that was me. Proud of you for blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it's come together. It's not done yet. We're working on it. I didn't want to give people the impression that, like, this was, we had blown up yet, because we hadn't blown up yet. We're still not blown up. Very Benjamin Life's in the house. Cheers, VB. VBL. But that's the whole point. You get organizations that can't change, with new information. If you can't change course, then you die. You just cease to be interesting. You cease to be something useful to people. You cease to be. People will go around you. Just like with our 20th anniversary or 20th reunion 10 years ago, when they tried to do a fairly formal type of thing, a semi-formal type of gathering, people just kind of went around it. They were just like, we want to do something else. And so they did. And, as they say in Jurassic Park, life finds a way. More importantly, communities find a way. If you cannot be a relevant community, communities will form without you. So, as a member of the session of my church, it is very disappointing and very frustrating for me as a leader to see the same mistakes being made again and again and again and again, the same old ideas. you know like, maybe if we just say it slower and louder, they will understand us. Like, no, motherfucker, they're speaking Spanish. You can't speak English slowly to someone who speaks Spanish and expect them to understand you. Maybe if we just chew it slowly. Like, no, you can't do that. You're allergic to shellfish. You can't just eat shrimp slowly. You are allergic. You will die. You have to do something different, you moron. I mean, we understand this in other aspects of our life. I understand this as a business owner. When I couldn't make enough bourbon, I added three more lines of product. Like, okay, we're going to go around it, and I will keep everything afloat by doing A, B, and C while I wait, or B, C, and D while I wait for A to come back to fruition. You can't just sit there and wait for fucking the boomerang to come back. You gotta go out and do life. You gotta do things. You gotta make decisions. You gotta choose to exist and choose to survive and choose to thrive. But with little community churches, all too often they choose to die. And it is so frustrating when you are a mission enabling community church to just watch that church choose to die because they don't know what else to do and they're afraid to do something else. It is frustrating as hell. But we will have some fresh blood coming into the session. I hope we will have some fresh blood coming into the session. It's not my decision to make. It's a committee decision. It is not my decision to make. I don't have a lot of respect for committees because they tend to make bad decisions together. They make bad decisions under the cover of the group, under the insulation of everybody agreed to make the bad decision, so it's not my fault. And I also can't stand deliberative bodies because they tend to talk themselves to death. They tend to talk about a solution rather than solve a fucking problem. But at the same time, I can appreciate deliberative bodies because deliberative bodies prevent organizations from shooting first and then loading and aiming the gun second. You've got to, but there's still got to be a balance. You've still got to be able to, find the balance between deliberation and action. You can't be all deliberative without action. You must be able to take action after, or once you've gathered all the information, you must be willing to take action and not merely continue to study the problem. And that far too many times, deliberative bodies study the problem until they're dead. Like the problem will resolve itself, you know? And if the problem in your church is you're having trouble with membership, you're having trouble bringing in new members, you're having trouble retaining visitors who come in, you're just having trouble growing as a church, you're having financial problems, you're having whatever problems that you're having, that problem will indeed solve itself over time because, everybody will be dead. Eventually, everyone dies. And then your problem's solved. You got nobody to worry about. You don't have to worry about retaining members anymore. You don't have to, because they're all right there in the ground. They're not going anywhere. You don't have to worry about retaining tithes because you got none. You're not going to lose any more money. You don't have to worry about maintaining the facility because you lost it, because you can't afford it. You don't have to worry about any of that shit because it's all gone. Is the video frozen again? Or am I just not? Nope, video's not frozen. We're good. But that's the thing, If a deliberative body is deliberative enough, if it's deliberative enough and talks about a problem long enough, the problem will resolve itself in one of two ways. Either it's a transient problem and it goes away, or it's a permanent problem and it destroys the institution, of which the deliberative body is a part of, and part of the problem. So, deliberative bodies have their place. I don't hate them all. But I don't like them because far too often they're cover for inaction, masked as action. And then they're cover, and then they become cover for bad action in place of actual. They're cover for things that look like solutions rather than actual solutions. Okay, so next stop on this process. It is 9:30. I said I was going to wrap up by 10. And I'm going to wrap up by 10. I said I was going to wrap up at 9, I think. But I've got to label these guys up. I've got to make sure I have labels, and I'm pretty sure I do. For our straight whiskey. So over here I've got I've moved my labels over here. These are Boomtown labels. I do not need those for this project. These can go back in here where they belong. All right, I've got my Boomtown labels here. More Boomtown. My straight whiskey labels I've got right here off camera. So I've got my purple front labels, my silver back labels. I need to find more purple front labels, or more silver back labels rather. I've got more silver back labels. This should be enough. Between these two rolls, this is 250 to the roll. This is probably about 100 left on this roll. Not even that, probably about 50 left on that roll. So for some reason, the print shop printed the front labels in 1,000 label rolls and the back labels in 250 label rolls, which, well, I don't use that fucking print shop anymore. This is just annoying as shit. So this is my rye labels, front and back. I need to make sure I have enough rye labels. So for straight whiskey, I've got 1,000 more plus 500 front labels. So that's probably That's probably, yeah, more than enough on there. So I need to find, I got another box of labels back here. This is the shit that you got to do. The non-whiskey related stuff. You know, finding products, finding supplies. Like, this is going, if I don't have the labels that I need, this is going to shut down production 100%. Because I've got straight whiskey now, special reserve coming out later on in November, in a couple of months in November. Here's the Boomtown. Okay, rye whiskey labels. Yeehaw, man, do I have a shit ton of rye or not? This is, holy cow, 500, 500. I've got more rye labels than I know what to do with, I think. I got more rye than bottles. More labels of rye than bottles of rye. More. 1,000, 2,000, 2,500 right there. That is 3,000 labels for rye whiskey right there. That's awesome. And then I've got all the back labels to go with it. Cool. So 1, 2, 3. 3. What's this? 4. 5. More? 6. All right, good deal. So I've got plenty of rye. I've got 4 barrels of rye, which should yield 22 cases each. So that's 22 cases times 4 times 4 times 12. That's 1,056. I got more than enough rye labels right now. So that's going to be basically this. And I'm going to have this much left over. So I'm set on rye for right now. What I'm going to need, however, what I am going to need is special reserve, because it does not look like I have any special reserve labels. Looks like I am all out, unless I have a stash that I do not know about. So that's going to be a problem. I'm going to have to call up my printer and find more special reserve labels, because here's one set of special reserve front, one set of special reserve back, and another set of special reserve back labels. And this is Boomtown Black back label and Boomtown Black front labels. So these go over there for now. Oh, I got a whole fucking box over here. What do I got in here? Purple. So I've got 500, 1,000 back labels, 500 more back labels. Of the purple. This is all back. This is front. Bad. Not good. Not great. Not great. Gotta sift through another box back here, see if I can find any more special reserve labels. Otherwise, I gotta put in an order and get it done soon. That's gonna suck. Farts. Yeah, I don't have any more special reserve labels. Fuck me and the goat ass. That's not ideal. It's not optimal. It's not what I wanted. Let's see if I've at least got one barrel. Let's see if I got at least 200 labels of special reserve over here. That is not going to cut it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. This is not at all going to cut it. This is about 100. All right, well, I know what I need to do in the next 48 hours. I need to get in contact with my label company and say chip, chop, 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 skibbity boop, skip, skip, skibbity boop, and get those things moving. All right. All right. Well, anyway, guys, what do we got over here? Anything else? All right. Cheers to you fine folks. Till we meet again. I'm going to go over to the picture-in-picture. Sit down at my control table with you fine folks here. Turn on the picture-in-picture. Will that do it? Picture-in-picture. There. Yeah, that does it. It's an old picture, but there's nothing happening over there. You can figure it out. Deactivate, activate. That gets this camera back up and running. All right, ladies and gentlemen, brothers, sisters, children of all ages, I am the Old Humble Guy. This is the Old Humble Distilling Company. We are still under construction, but everything is moving forward quite rapidly, and it is very exciting. I'm glad you're willing to be a part of it. Thank you for coming to join me. Thank you for watching us as we grow, and thank you for just generally being awesome people. Cheers. Boop. There we go. Cheers to you. Be awesome to each other until we meet again. I am the Old Humble Guy, and you are